My name is Michael Olaye. I'm the SVP of Strategy and Innovation at RGA. My role is a bit of a hybrid role. My background is in technology and business, and I wrap that around innovation. So at RGA, I could be working on anything from looking at product design, understanding an audience for the clients, working on road mapping for products. It could also involve new business. It could involve existing clients. And I talk a lot, and I'm involved in a lot of kind of innovation thinking and ideas. Well, on a personal level, for me, AI is pretty important. I use it across pretty much 80% of what I do, from notes I take to research I do, to even sometimes emails I send. I use it to kind of validate what I'm writing. So for me, AI is important. And then I would say in the last kind of 18 months, the teams I've been working with, we've been using it for like creation of concepts, both strategically and creatively. And then we've been using it a lot for prototyping. And then in the company itself, we use it for a lot of deployment, and we've been using it for a lot of new business processes as well. So it's been quite important to me personally. Yeah, I mean, there's a few, obviously NDAs will stop me from giving everything away. But for instance, for Samsung, which is one I can talk about, we actually have a really cool AI implementation for doing content at scale, live. So we're creating dynamic assets, both for their products, but also for the setup of shoots. And we're doing that dynamically on the website level using artificial intelligence. It's contextually reading both the user's sometimes data plus location. It could be anything from weather to where they're based or time of day. And then it's on the fly generating like dynamic assets. It brings a lot of personalization to the experience for that Samsung customer buying the product. Another brand we've done some pretty cool stuff using AI was Verizon. We did a really cool 30-second ad last year where we had to help them launch a new streaming service that they had. And the idea was to find words within movies that made up a song. Basically, we ended up using AI to scrub thousands of videos to find the right words to make that song up.
All together?
Now. All together now. All together.
Now.
And something that should have taken months to do, we're able to do in a couple of days. I agree. I think the same way the Industrial Revolution changed the type of jobs that people were like studying or training for is what's going to happen, or what is happening now with AI. I know it sounds alarmist, but he's almost setting up what I call future generations in the education system, in the training system. Some of the roles and the things we learn today are just not going to be needed in, say, 20 years time, 10, 15 years time, because a lot of process-driven jobs that are mundane or repetitive will get eliminated through automation. They just will. So I think that the task as a society now is to understand how to train the next generation of people for the roles that will be important in support and in partnership with AI. I don't think AI will replace everyone's job and stuff like that. I think the best professionals in the future will see AI as a companion or co-pilot that they work with. So just being ready for certain jobs not to be there anymore is kind of important. So I don't look at it as an alarmist. I think it's more realist. I think it's coming, so better prepare for it rather than ignore it. I think it's about finding out the right information that allows you to make the relevant choices on where to upskill yourself. The term AI is quite broad. It covers so many sectors. I think for marketers, they have been using AI applications for the last 10 years. A lot of the tools we use have AI implementation. I think the difference now is the level of advancement in which AI has, and the speed at which it's taking over, and the speed at which it's kind of seeping its way into like daily needs and daily systems. So I would say for marketers today, it's about upskilling, really finding and finessing your skill, not in just the capabilities you have as a marketer, but also the tools available to make you a better marketer. And a lot of those tools, in fact, I would say 99% of them are going to be AI powered. It's about understanding those tools and how to get them to work for you as a marketer. Another point to make is at the moment we're in a stage of AI where it's still kind of unbundled. So a lot of the AI tools are still in silos. They're still kind of independent. I think as AI moves forward and as technology moves forward and as hardware gets better, we will see more bundling or coupling of technologies. And I think for a marketer, that's going to be a great thing. So the ability to have your sets of data working across different tools for you without you having to spend a lot of time downloading, cleaning, uploading, transferring, I think that's going to be great. And we can see some of the big tech companies already partnering with each other to bring that to reality. And I think for marketers, it's going to be great. OpenAI, for instance, have this GPT models, which they don't really talk much about, but you should take a look at that if you're a marketer. It's the ability to create very simple GPT-like models that are very good at doing one task. And the vision behind that is to create a marketplace, very similar to the Apple Store. So any developer, any company can build a GPT model that they can then put on the marketplace, basically like an Apple Store. You can download it and they get paid for it, or it can be free. I can foresee somebody building a GPT to help keep your desktop tidy, or keep your spam down, or clear your emails, or make your coffee, or warm your car in the morning. I think that's where we're going. And I know it's something that, you know, a lot of technologists are looking at right now. Like, how do you create these like small GPT models? And ultimately, how do they all like work in the interest of the user? Oh, I have a few. So there's a tool called Leonardo AI, which I've been playing around with recently. So Leonardo AI is a bit like DALL-E combined with Midjourney. And they've kind of built a tool that allows you to not only create video, but create images in the same program. It's got a really cool fine-tuning engine, and it's actually a really nice tool. ChatGPT and Grammarly are probably the two AI-driven tools I use the most. I think we're in a hype cycle right now. So the word AI is being thrown around a lot, and which is obviously going to fatigue people out. But I think the technology will become invisible. If you remember 2016, there was a lot of talk around big data. Everywhere you went, it was about big data and cloud computing and all this stuff. And no one talks about big data and cloud computing anymore, but it's still there. In fact, the whole infrastructure of the internet's running on it. Every technology advancement has positives and negatives. Obviously, the impact of AI is a lot more risky for the human race. But no, I don't think people will get fatigued by AI itself. I think they will get fatigued by people talking about AI for sure. But I think the AI industry it's going to be around for a very, very, very long time. Very long. I think creativity from a human aspect will always be unique. I just think it will. Even if AI can better it, I just still think as a human creating, the respect from other humans would just always surpass that of a machine. The merits in which you judge creativity is up for debate, if I'm being honest with you, because any artist you ever can think about in the world has taken inspiration from somewhere. It's just another form of inputting data. So it all depends on what you judge as creativity. I think on a basis level, for me anyway, using AI to better human nature is kind of what I think the benefits are at a foundational level, whether that's genome mapping or whether it's automotive, safety, or training, or all the stuff that NVIDIA is doing with like digital twin, being able to build buildings without actually wastage and stuff like that. It's super cool. From an advertising marketing point of view, it's the ability to really like utilize the data we have a little bit better and have machines that can help us get to being more creative faster. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. Creativity. That's the superpower, right? That doesn't matter what technology comes or whatever it is we're talking about. Humans aspire to be emotionally touched or emotionally connected. And it doesn't matter whether that's a product, it doesn't matter whether it's a brand, it doesn't matter whether it's a personality. That is why we're all here, right? To tell stories, and technology gives us different mediums to tell those stories. But ultimately, if technology wasn't there, we would tell those stories anyway in different forms. So for me, creativity, it will always be core. Yeah, data is important. Yeah, technology is important, and AI is amazing and all this stuff. But creativity will always be the thing that connects with humans. Hopefully 50 years, 100 years time, it's still the thing. It will solve all their problems very quickly. I think you still need to do the basics, understanding your channels, understanding your audiences, being in it a little bit for the long run. I think with all the technology that's around, we sometimes don't take mercy on the consumer. We don't take mercy on the end user. If you just think about the average person on the street and just the amount of information they see, the amount of apps they have to use, the amount of data they get, it's a marketer's job to make it as easy as possible for people to, one, understand the brand, understand what you are, what your products are, and then get serviced really well. So for me, that's the ultimate goal. If you always focus on the end user and make it as frictionless and as easy as possible for them to engage with you, then that's a success story for me. You have to join the course to find out. I have no comment. Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy.
Do, 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 do.
Very nice.
I think I did that one okay.
That was excellent.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
Want to be an AI marketing guru? Join this course.